I'm so sorry I was late. Oh my gosh.
No, it's okay. Tell us about that. No.
I'm sitting here waiting on you. I'm like, God, these boys are taking a long time. Like, what the hell? I'm like, been sitting here for like half an hour. I'm like, where's my invite, bitch?
Damn.
I was like, is she waiting for us in Twitch right now? Like,
we literally thought she was on Twitch. I'm like, we're not supposed to go live on that thing, right? Only during our designated time.
It's just Marie live by herself.
And she still gets more views than we do. Hey. All right. On that note, welcome everybody back to Not a Strong Start, a movie podcast by filmmakers that talk movies, television, and love to crash and make everybody wait on their podcast Zoom. Thank you, Marie. I am your host, Daniel, also known as Anal Probing for today's episode.
I'm Jose, Mr. Welcome to Earth.
That's a good one.
Marie is back and she's going to think of it. So as she thinks of it.
Yeah.
And then we also have a special guest today, Kevin Lyons, who we've been waiting to get on the show. Yay!
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Absolutely, man. If you want to tell everybody what you do a little bit, if you want to, your own.
I'm a huge procrastinator, so I do a lot of nothing. That's
a good start.
I do a lot of digital art and filmmaking and 3D modeling and photography and just a whole bunch of stuff with you crazy guys too. We haven't done it in a while that we need to get back into.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So me and Kev have been doing films for 12 years now. We've been doing stuff, and I know him and Jose go together a lot longer than that they've known each other. So this is
we went to college together. We did together.
We went to kindergarten together.
Yeah. And now Marie has her name.
Wait. No, I forgot to put my.
Okay, she doesn't really. Okay.
ET finger.
Edit this out. No,
not quick enough. Not quick enough.
Exactly. Not quick enough. So it means we have to keep making jokes. I have to leave it in. That's how this works. Exactly.
I'm spelling things wrong. I'm doing typos. I'm not with it today. I'm not there.
You're off your game because you went on the Twitch live. That's why
I didn't go into. I was in limbo, just sitting doing nothing. I'm like, okay.
Pop Couture is going to contact us. Why do you guys go live again today?
I know, man. Time frame? The second time. Okay, Jose. I really hope you have a current event for us.
I do. Yes. And then you will appreciate this. This is one of your top favorite horror movies of all time that includes aliens. But they have been trying to do a Killer Clowns from Outer Space sequel for many, many years, and it has failed multiple times.
Yay!
But there is light at the end of the tunnel, Dan, just for you, buddy.
No.
Halloween Horror Nights recently just did a little short that they're presenting over there of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and it's a little 2-minute little movie that they are showing to their guests, which is opening up the door to possibly that sequel being done. How happy are you?
I'm about as happy as E.T. doing an anal probing with his finger. I don't like it, man. I hate clowns from. I don't even want to say the fucking title. Okay, I don't like it, man. It was bad. I respect the fact that it's it has a cult following, but no, man, it's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. But it's so funny that you said that, because I just found out this week that one of my coworkers, her father and uncle are the Kyoto brothers, the ones that made Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, really?
I'm like, wait, what? It was in the middle of class. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I love 80s horror. That is one of my jams. And if you happen to come across one of those and the Funko Pops, if you get a Killer Clowns from Outer Space Funko Pop, grab it, because it's going to be worth a lot soon, because they mislabeled them.
Ooh.
They gave them the wrong character names. And so now they're going to re-release them. So if you happen to find one with the wrong names, they could be worth quite a bit of money.
Hey.
Wait, why don't you like Killer Clowns?
I just now I feel bad because you just set up that her family members created these things, but the design of them, I'm not.
And they're listening. So. Dan, they're listening before you answer. Remember,
do not send them this link. I'm already gonna get cancel cultured on my own show. I don't want to. Next, please. Next, Marie, please give us your thoughts.
I've never seen it, so I can't say.
Yay. See, that's why Marie gets invited back. Exactly.
In defense, it is a pretty bad movie.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like bad movies.
I do too.
But if you are interested, you can find the 2-minute short on YouTube that's currently being shown at Hollywood Horror Nights. I don't hate the movie, but I watched it as a kid, and it was one of those that it was like so bad I kind of enjoyed it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult, it came free with another horror movie that I bought, so now I own it because it was like a package deal. So every once in a while, like I'll pop it in, you know. So I don't mind.
You fall asleep to it? You rewatch it. You fall asleep to it. You rewatch it many times.
Oh yeah. No, you just cuddle up with a little killer clowns from outer space.
Do you remember when clowns were taking over America like 5 years ago? Do you remember the clown scare? That's when they should have brought it to Horror Nights. You don't remember that, Dan? Everywhere there was just like creepy clowns walking around freaking people out. You don't remember that?
No.
That was real? That's a real thing?
Yeah, you don't remember that? Jose, you remember that, right?
Yeah, it was like a trend, and people just started getting in clown costumes and just like holding like knives and just standing in streets staring at people and kind of freaking people out. So some people started calling the cops. People were like terrified, but it was happening all over the country.
There's a documentary about that, right? And
I think so.
I thought it was not real. I'm in Canada, so clowns are everywhere in Canada. They're not just like
I'm gonna say they don't allow clowns in Canada, okay?
Yeah, enough about clown talk. All right, we got to stop clowning around here, guys.
Hey, I see what you did there.
I love these dad jokes. All right,
Such a circus here.
Yeah, it's such a circus here. All right, so in this week's episode, we're talking about alien invaders, specifically aliens coming to Earth. Super exciting. We're all huge sci-fi fans. I love sci-fi movies so much. Probably my favorite genre, I think, is sci-fi. So what are you guys' thoughts on aliens? Do they actually exist? Are they real? Is it just a conspiracy, or is it just for movies and television? What do you guys think? Kev, we'll start with you.
They're fucking real, bro. If you don't believe it, get out. They're real. 100%. 100%. It's so egotistical to say that they're not real.
Yeah, I totally agree. Marie?
I absolutely agree with that. And also, it doesn't mean necessarily that they're like humanoid creatures. It could just be like some sort of like other microorganism somewhere, or like whatever. Whether or not they're from a different planet, or they're interdimensional, or they're from the future, I don't know. But oh yeah, there's other shit out there. There has to be.
Yeah. Jose?
No, I agree. It is completely illogical to believe that out of all the planets, all the solar system, all the galaxy, out of everything, we're the one planet that was like, let there be life. Like nowhere else.
I mean, seriously, like technically we're aliens. Just look at another planet. Even if there's no other life on that planet, all of a sudden we go like we're aliens invading that planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
especially when you consider that there's billions of stars everywhere. Come on, man. Just from a mathematician standpoint, has to. So
not only that, I just think it's not just one species of aliens. I think that there are countless different types of species of aliens out there.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point we did believe that the sun revolved around us, so not really surprised.
It still does, Jose. It still does. Okay? And the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat, sir. You don't see water going over, Jose. I'm kidding.
Nope.
All right. What was the first movie or TV, like anything you guys saw with aliens in it, if you can remember that far back?
I think it was The Explorers. You guys ever seen The Explorers?
Yes, I saw The Explorers. Yes.
Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix.
They
were kids.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was that before E.T. and then like Mac and Me, like all those kid ones. But
Mac and Me.
Mac and Me.
Yeah.
See, Mac and Me. Scene. Now you got me with Mac and Me. I will absolutely watch Mac and Me. Him flying off the cliff in a wheelchair. Come on.
That was the best.
Dude, yes, clowns, the killer clowns from outer space do not have those type of moments. That's why I'm like, no, man, that's where you miss me with it. It's just bad.
But on that topic, I can't remember who it was. Wasn't there like a talk show, and every time a guest will go on, every time they would be like trying to show a clip of their movie? Paul Rudd, he would show
Conan
that
O'Brien. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every time.
yeah.
He'd always say, all right, here's a trailer for my new movie. And then they would show that clip and he did it every time, man. It was like a running gag for like 10 years. I fucking
yeah.
love it.
Aw.
Who designed that
Exactly.
alien? It's such a weird look. Like he doesn't even look like an alien. It just looks like a bloated 5-year-old.
Yeah.
The Wish
Cute.
version of ET.
Dude, seriously.
Totally.
It was a rejected version.
Being a kid, it's hard to remember, but I think it was The Abyss. Jim Carrey's The Abyss.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was the first. I would have been like 4 or 5 or something like that, and I remember watching that one. I think that was the first one.
Because I remember that was some of the first time that they used CGI in a movie, making those aliens. I think
it was because you
like
remember
Magic did it.
Yeah, but they could like manipulate the water and ended up like looking like the T-1000.
Yeah.
It was like showing the water.
I mean, obviously, when I first heard that question, I did think of E.T., but then I was like, you know what? Let's go back a little further. I'm gonna go with Marvin the Martian. Do you remember Marvin the Martian? The old cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow up the earth.
I liked him because like he didn't even like, aliens always want to like kill mankind or blow it up. He just wanted to blow up the earth. He didn't even want to take the resources. It was just in his way of viewing space. He's like, I'm going to blow up the earth. And it's just like, that was my first thought on aliens.
I don't remember exactly what mine was. I just remember a vivid memory when I was a kid with Star Wars. Obviously, we had like this giant box television that it didn't even have the knob. It's one where you had to, just push the button.
Oh, yeah.
Do the
Yeah.
projection. But this one was like it was breaking down. So I'd have to press it. And I'd seriously have to press it like 80 times until it would go and it would turn on. But if you went too fast, it would turn on and I'd accidentally turn it off. So I had this big box television in my room and I always had to go to bed, but they were playing a Star Wars marathon, the original trilogy where they would play like at 10 p.m. at night. So at night, I'd be like this little 5-6-year-old. My parents had no idea that I was staying up late to watch these things. So I'd wake up the next day to go to school and I had bags under my eyes because I remember just watching Star Wars. It was awesome. And I saw that vivid memory. So I love it.
That's
All right.
lovely.
Thank you.
Technically, the Star Wars movies themselves are like alien invasions because it just
Yeah.
invaded all of pop
That's it.
culture.
Dude, seriously, it really did, man. Especially
Thankfully,
for what they did,
thankfully.
yeah. Yes, thankfully.
Thank
We
goodness.
don't have Chuck here to tell us about how great the fucking prequels were.
I like the prequels.
Mm.
Do you love them?
Mm.
Better than the
No.
original.
I don't think that they're great, but I like watching bad things, and it's fun to watch bad stuff.
So you admit that they're bad, but they're fun
Yeah,
to watch. They do have fun moments.
they're horrible.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
I just like watching train wrecks. They're just fun and stupid, and I like fun and stupid.
So what has been your guys' favorite movie representation of aliens?
Okay, well, I feel one of the best visual designs for an alien, of course, was like the xenomorph.
Mhm.
So there's that one, and then my love of Predator, so like Predator is one of them. But I think like one out of the box one that I thought was cool. No, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Just like gone.
It was so
just
out of the box
complete-
that you just
I just completely blanked out. Yes,
get back in the
So-
box.
we will stick with Alien and Predator.
Okay, good enough.
Wait to
All right.
solve.
I always loved Critters. Do you remember
Oh
Critters?
yeah, yeah.
Critters was great because I love small town invasion movies rather
Mhm.
than just like the aliens are invading the whole planet. I love like when it's localized a little bit and like the small town ones. But another one, I mean, definitely John Carpenter's The Thing, because I feel like
Mm.
you still don't know what the thing looks like because you've
Yeah.
never actually seen it. It's just
Seen it,
always
yeah.
been morphing inside of other people. And I just thought that was just a really cool way to have an alien, but still not know what the alien looks like. You know what I mean? And it turns you into the monster too. So that's like
Yes.
one of my favorite things. And that's been like my good night movie for a long time. You ever have a bed night movie?
Oh yeah.
I throw on The Thing all the time.
I had the exact same answers as Jose. And the reason why I like Xenomorph so much, to me, the Xenomorph is less scary than like the Greys aliens. I'll get into that later. I have it for a different answer, but it's less scary because they just, they want to hunt, they want to kill, and they want to like breed. But like the I'll get into my hatred for the Greys after. But anyway,
She's racist against the Greys.
Yeah.
am.
She
I don't
hates
care.
the color gray. She hates the color gray.
mm, because of the gray aliens. That's why. But I would say the xenomorph's my favorite.
Okay.
Ooh, Alf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I thought you were gonna go with, Kev.
Oh, Alf.
Kevin Lyons.
Yeah, he's the
Come
king
on.
because Alf. He's the king of aliens because Alf loves to eat pussy cats. He's really good at it.
Huh? Yeah, he does.
He does.
He's very good at it.
He's really good at it.
I'll stop it. So yeah, I didn't want to do obvious, so I picked two different ones. Mars Attacks. I really like that. I really like that old pop retro look.
Mhm.
Really cool, man. I'm a huge fan of sci-fi retro, like pop art. Huge fan of it. They matched that. And another one I picked was Thanos. Okay, what are some of the most creative representations that you guys like for aliens? So Marie, we'll start off with you.
I said the aliens in Arrival. To me, when I was watching Arrival, I was like, I've never seen like a cephalopod type communicating with like a different type of like pictures and stuff like that. To me, that and the message in that movie was like completely different and original. That, and also there's a Russian movie called Sputnik. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it, you must.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. I loved it. So just, I'm not going to say anything about it then if you guys haven't seen it. Sputnik. There you go.
Sputnik.
That.
I actually have that on my queue, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah. Arrival aliens.
For creative, I mean, I just like this one aspect that I feel like has been used in a bunch. It's when they like take over your bodies, like the body snatchers and like the faculty, and the same thing with the Thing. And then there was, do you remember that show Falling Skies? It was an alien invasion show. And like halfway, I never finished it, but like halfway through the series, they found out that the aliens were prisoners from other planets that got taken over, and they slowly morph into these aliens and they become like these soldiers. And I'm like, that is such a cool idea. So I like it. I like it when you have, especially with the Thing, when you have to figure out who the alien is, because they enter your body and they take over your mind and stuff like that. I think that's great.
I had a few. So one of them is a more recent one, and it's from Nope, and it was Jean Jacket. Like even though I wasn't a fan of what did you haven't watched it?
They both haven't seen it. They both haven't seen it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Done.
I wanted to see it, but I was traveling and I haven't had a chance to see it. I actually might go see it tonight.
Yeah, I thought you were watching it the other day. All right, no
I was jet lagged. That was jet lagged.
I'll just say the concept of the alien in Nope.
Yeah.
That one I felt was very, very creative, even if I personally did not enjoy a certain design aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna be looking for when I watch that movie. I'm like, what didn't Jose like about this?
They'll know.
Well, we had that. All right, going on to ones that it's beyond the statute of limitations for spoilers, because these are older. The mimics in Edge of Tomorrow. I just thought it was really creative. You have these aliens who can pretty much create time loops, and when they die, rewind time so they can win the war against it, because they can always adjust every time they were defeated. So I thought that was really creative. And then an oldie but a favorite as a kid, have you guys ever watched Batteries Not Included?
Oh,
yes, dude.
Movie.
They had the Puerto Rican guy with the old couple. Man. I grew up on that movie.
The Puerto Rican that was
I would always watch it whenever it was on TV.
The Puerto Rican that was terrorizing an entire like building of people.
Dude, that was so funny.
Make us look good.
Is that why you like that movie, Jose?
Oh yeah, that's where I learned how to treat people in my life, just through that movie. I'm like, I gotta be a Carlos.
That's why I like Jose, is because of Carlos.
I was thinking about that movie the other day, and I just forgot to include it. But yeah,
I mean, little alien tiny saucers, they just fix shit. Like,
dude, that's
come
awesome.
on. Like,
I totally own one.
I'll be breaking so much shit just to see them like fix it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so I had a couple. This is where I put in my xenomorph, because it's the most creative. I've explained this before in another episode, but I think it's so creative because there's a metamorphosis process that's involved. It's not just the alien, right? You start off with the face huggers. You first start off with the egg, it hatches, then you have to have a face hugger, which means you need a host. So now you have an alien that's altering based off of the host that they choose. and then you get the beautiful design of the xenomorph. And then the fact that the blood is acid, like they're such a perfect killing machine. That's why I put that as a most creative.
Weapon,
it's a walking weapon because it's always just, here's your alien. So even if, the thing is the closest thing where it would modify based off of what it was, but it was still just whatever it was that we never saw, that was the alien. The xenomorphs require certain conditions in order to exist. And that's why I thought it was so creative. Like I said, it's a whole warped version of a butterfly. I think it's so dope.
You ever watch that documentary, Dan, about the Alien movie?
Yeah,
that was really good. I think it's on Shudder.
I love Alien.
That was so cool watching how it was developed.
Yeah. Oh, it really has, man. I feel like I've mentioned Alien on damn near every episode, but I just love the franchise that much. Yeah. I love it. It's by far one of my favorite. Another one that I picked, which is different, was Men in Black. It was the Edgar character that was Vincent D'Onofrio. He's a giant cockroach. Dude, all that. Like, it's a giant cockroach, which is already gross, right? It's what's most people's like grotesque bug. And then the fact that it takes a human shape, the fact that it needed sugar, and it was just excellent acting by Vincent D'Onofrio.
So good.
Not just sugar and water.
It's sugar and water, man. It's so gross.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, it was so creative. It wasn't just a normal thing. And I think the Men in Black in general, they got very creative with their aliens. Like, shout out to them, man. Like, those movies are kind of under, when they first came out, they were super popular, and then the hype kind of faded out. But they're actually still pretty good. Will Smith's still good in the movie, but the whole designs of the aliens were really good. And even Tony Shalhoub's alien in that movie was good, man.
Because there were just so many of them. It wasn't one. There was just a vast amount of aliens in there, and so they had to take a lot of design, a lot of effort to do that. It was really cool.
And they did a good job doing it, because you've seen some bad sci-fi where the alien designs look the same, right? Like not to branch off too much, but like Cloverfield, they had the giant thing, and that was always my thing with J.J. Abrams, is that his alien designs look so similar. Like they always look so similar, but something like a Men in Black, you get this vast array, and they're so different, and it was clever. So
can I just quickly throw my appreciation for the way you say cockroach?
Cockroach.
Cockroach.
Yes.
Not cockroach.
Not cockroach.
Cockroach.
Jose
Carlos will be proud.
That is very Latino right there. So I didn't even realize I said it that way. There you go. Now, what is the scariest representation? Now, this is where we start getting into some of this stuff. So the scariest representation, Kevin, we'll start off with you.
I mean, I think the scariest design is the xenomorph, obviously, but are we also talking about uneasy ones too? Because
all that.
All right, the aliens from Cocoon. They freak me out because they remind me of a bad mushroom trip. They're really, really weird. Just like their faces. Can you think of it off the top of your head? Because when I was at home, and my sister, she has this dog. It's like a labradoodle type of thing. It's like a big one, had fluffy hair, but they ended up giving it a haircut. It had the same face as the Cocoon aliens. And I'm like, Carrie, get your dog out of here. It's freaking me out. I'm like, it reminds me of the Cocoon aliens. And they were good aliens. They just look so creepy. I'm like, no, thanks. Remind me of just being on mushrooms and having a bad trip. Like,
not that you've ever done that, Kevin.
No.
Are we not allowed to talk about that?
No, you can. I'm just making it
okay,
in case your parents are watching.
I've been meaning to do it again, but now I know that if I have to wait a certain amount of time to get cocoons out of my head before I take mushrooms again, that way I don't have it.
So I had a couple. Well, one of them I'm just kind of gonna bunch a bunch of aliens into one, but it's like the aliens from the spores from like Body Snatchers, the Thing, the long one. I think that's what they call the aliens from Slither, and then like the Faculty is like those taking over human aliens and stuff, because it's like they could be anyone. That's what makes them a little uneasy. Other aliens, you can see them and be like, all right, that's a fucking alien. But
that's an alien.
That's an alien.
You see that? That's an alien. I'm not trying to stereotype. Like that's an alien.
Yeah. So with these, like, you don't know who they are. It's a little uneasy. It can be your neighbor. It can be you. You might not know.
Hey! I'm not an alien.
I've got the papers to prove it.
Cállate la boca.
The other one that would, if these aliens were real and they did their thing right now, would make me a little wary, would be like the Monstars, because it's like Jordan is too old right now, so if they come back, like we're fucked.
They're gonna call you. They're gonna like, we need Jose.
I'll be like, we're done. We're done. They're taking Earth. Like that's
I'm
it.
out, guys.
My knees aren't.
You get
my knees
2
aren't
good
the way
minutes
they
out of
used to
me.
be.
Yeah.
The Monstars, dude.
I got to play for 4 quarters? Damn.
Get out right now. You had to bring sports into this, didn't you? Didn't you, jerk?
Okay, mine's silly, but when I was a kid, I watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind with my parents, and that movie, my eyes are starting to water thinking about it. Traumatized me for at least 10 years. Like I couldn't watch the X-Files. I couldn't watch commercials for the X-Files. I couldn't see those.
Not even commercials?
No, I would be like, I couldn't even look at it. And I don't know if it's because they abducted a kid in that movie, even though they returned everybody's fine. Little aliens are cute walking around, except for that one with like the balloon body, the long skinny arms, just like floating by the door. Like, what is your purpose? What's the point of you? God, that movie just, so that I hate the Greys. So that's why. And also I have War of the Worlds.
Oh, okay.
Because of just like disintegrating people with these beams and like, yeah. Well, I'm
the newer one. I know you're talking about.
I haven't seen that.
Have you ever seen Fire in the Sky?
Yes. Oh, dude. Yes.
I couldn't.
Really?
For years.
The alien designs, though, I wasn't a fan of, but the whole world that they painted.
Have you ever listened to Travis Walton's actual? Because it's like based on actual events, and you can find his interviews. I watched almost every single one, and it's fascinating. It's not exactly like the movie, but it's even like trippier when he explains it. It's fucking so cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out.
No, it's just
now she's not returning.
I can see with that. I can see with that War of the Worlds, because just like imagine this thing like just takes like your family and then shits them on top of you. Like, just like, so it's like now you're wearing like your family, and it's like, oh shit, this sucks.
Is that panic that what's his name? Tim Roth? No, Tim. What's his name? He was Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Yeah, when that panic he had when he saw that they were eating and spitting them out, he starts digging. He's like, "They're eating us, man! They're eating us."
It was just me or like the X-Files. I love the X-Files. It didn't really creep me out, but the fucking intro. I remember as a kid being a little uneasy just on the intro.
It's the music.
Not even the show.
The music.
The show. It's just that little, the music and the little images. It was like,
because the music taps into those parts of your brain that's supposed to be like they know exactly what they're doing. Some of the scariest representation I had, exactly what you said, Jose, about the idea of not knowing who's an alien, who's not. That's dope. Another one is aliens that are like animalistic, where there's no human logic. So I'm not gonna get into it, but something like Nope, Pitch Black, where you just have like creatures that are feasting, Starship Troopers, like that's scary. But another one I had was like Arrival, the whole intelligence deeming us unfit, whether they see when you have those aliens, like, are you guys worthy? Sort of like what they had with what was it? Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't know if you guys ever seen the 1951 classic, but dope movie. But in that one, he's coming as peaceful, and we as humans get freaked out by it, and we become the villains in that movie. And it's dope, man. Just having that outside intelligence trying to see if we're worthy to still exist.
I think that's funny because now I'm not even like when I watch Independence Day, like I'm not even on the human side anymore. I'm just like, you know what? They should just take us over.
Take us out. You're not
Take
worthy.
us out. We're not worthy anymore.
Have they seen TikTok? Take us out. Take us out, Kevin.
Well, I think I told you this, but Marie didn't hear. But yeah, the other day I was working with a kiddo, and I was asking him about aliens. And I'm like, what alien movies do you like? What's your favorite aliens? And he was naming a bunch of kid movie stuff. And then I go, what about the aliens from Independence Day? Do you find them scary? And he goes, wait a second. There's a movie about aliens called Independence Day, and you're just telling me now? He got so mad at me. Like I've been keeping it from him.
Dude,
anyway,
Bill Pullman, man.
Sorry.
Best American, best representation of a president. I loved him.
For some reason, that just makes me think. You remember Rick and Morty, where it was like, "Show me what you got." Like that's exactly what it made me think of.
Yes. All right. Now, Jose gave us a very, very good, fun one with this one. Creating your own alien type with the backstory. Who wants to go first?
All right. Well, I have a couple. I'll just start off with this one. In alien movies, the aliens are either like really bad and want to kill us all, or they're like really good and want to help us. So I just thought of like, what if they were just like a group of passive aggressive aliens invading Earth? They don't destroy anything. They just might like knock over one building and just like we have to spend the whole movie figuring out why they're mad at us, and they won't tell us. So I was thinking something stupid like that.
They don't tell us. They're being so mean.
Why are they mad? It's like, we're not mad. We're fine. Yeah. Knock over the tower.
He shit in my shoe, Kevin. Why? Why did he shit in my shoe?
I don't know. And then I was also thinking, I'm like, man, like whenever they try to like, they're always like trying to get our resources. I'm like, what if like human thought was a resource, right? Mm-hmm. And they're good aliens and bad aliens, and they're trying to influence humankind to terraform a planet to make it to where they want it. I'm like, that would be cool because they wouldn't even have to show up and be like aliens. They could just influence people's minds. I don't know. I just thought of that. But I like the passive aggressive aliens better.
No, that second one, that would be creepy as hell because people wouldn't know why they're doing something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like there were some aliens that would feed off of like negative anger, and they would make like groups of people angry to start wars and stuff like that so they could destroy themselves and make the planet livable for the aliens. I don't know, stuff like that.
Well, I think about this, and for some reason, if I was thinking about like, oh, what are aliens anyway? I would think it was like people like far, far, far in the future. How Earth or humans would even live this long is beyond me. But anyway, it's like they're coming from the future, because a lot of the alien stories and the encounter stories that I've like looked up and like talked about in my podcast and stuff is like they'll come and telepathically communicate with people about like protecting the planet for some reason. So for some reason, I'm like, okay, maybe they're from the future. They've evolved to all be like one height, one color, one gender, whatever. So I was talking to my brother today about this, and he's like, do you remember my story for what aliens should be? I'm like, yeah. So I'm kind of combining mine and my brother's story, but it's mostly his because he's a genius. Because they're so like plain and muted and gray and like identical clothing and boring. Their ships are boring. Everything's boring and sterile. They don't have like color and like arts and music and distinctive traits and diversity. So they're like jealous of us and in awe of us because we have all that. But then we're like jealous of their technology and we want that. And they're like, no. Because if you have what we have, you won't have what you have anymore. Like all the beauty would be gone. And like, you know, so that was the way he talked about it, except way more like eloquently. But I was like, yeah, that's right. Because they seem to be like sterile.
Stoic.
And we're like, woo! They're probably like, why are they like this? Like, what's up?
Like Equilibrium. You remember how they just became emotionless in Equilibrium?
Mm-hmm. Like that planet looks fun.
Yeah. Exactly. They wanted to come and boogie. No, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Little do they know it's not fun. It's just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But just stripping everything, like making everything void and bland. There is a scariness to that. It's ugly. You know what I mean? Like there's no personality, there's no anything. And that's the element of making us human, right? Is the diversity. And if you don't have that, that's freaky, scary.
Which would kind of make sense if they're so technologically advanced, if they were to strip all the fun, the creative, there's this like uber focus on just advancement in there, why technologically they would become more advanced.
Mine, I wanted to focus on, I love the idea of aliens deeming us whether we're worthy to exist or not, or whether they should wipe us out. So my alien species is exactly that. I went with an insectoids, even though I don't necessarily love the way that they love the whole bug looking thing, but I saw it almost as like giant ants, sort of like 8 feet tall, but they communicate in high pitch frequencies. So when they do that, it's like super barring to like your head, and it's ear piercing. So when they come here, they immediately wipe out like most of the population. And then they're stripping away anything that they don't see as valuable. So they have certain animals, they have certain people left, and then they're prodding us, poking us, trying different experiments to see if we're worthy to survive. That's kind of the idea I went with.
They just like screaming banshees, just
like, but they look like giant ants.
I swear to God, you said ants, but I thought you were gonna go cockroach.
Yeah.
No,
missed opportunity for cockroach.
Vincent D'Onofrio already did that. I don't need to do that again. So let's do giant ants. Call it Antpocalypse.
I'm picturing a bunch of heads just exploding from like the screeching, and that's how they like wiping everyone out.
Yeah. Oh, terrible.
All right, Jose, hit us with the trilogy. Who is it starring?
Okay.
It's a trilogy now, Dan. It's a trilogy now.
It's a franchise, and it has spin-offs.
Yeah, somewhere in there is Tom Cruise doing his own stunts.
Yeah.
So in the future, there's this technologically advanced alien race from the Andromeda Galaxy whose planet is about to end due to a dying star.
Okay.
These aliens are called humans. And they sent their exploration ships back in time to help their past selves relocate. But due to the miscalculations, they actually end up traveling to the Milky Way near Earth. Here they find Earth. They saw that Earth was actually suitable, and they began an extermination mission, killing off all the dinosaurs that lived on Earth. But there was also more advanced reptilian type creatures that lived here along with the dinosaur who fought back. People. Yeah, who fought back, and some of them actually escaped on a human ship, and they left before they can get terminated. And the humans were like, the planet is ours now, and they kind of took over. Since they have this time travel technology, they didn't want people missing their families and trying to travel back to the dying world. So some of the humans volunteered to stay behind. They got their technology stripped and their mind wiped, and that's how we got the cavemen originally. And then the ones who didn't stay would periodically come back to Earth to assist in some of the advancements, such as pyramid building and little advances, but not interfering too much. And that's the aliens that we know and have seen. But what they don't know is that for thousands of years since they were exiled, the reptilians have been advancing and planning their return to take their planet back.
That is dope. I'd watch that.
Good standing ovation.
Wait, is Tom Cruise the alien? Is he in there?
Yes, he plays all the aliens. You just copied and pasted it.
He said he shows up to do his own stunts. It's not even planned in the movie. Tom Cruise just shows up to movie sets and does his own stunts.
They didn't even know he was in the movie. They didn't even know he was in the movie until he showed up on set.
He's the leader of the reptilians clan. He's planning the rebellion. He's gonna come back flying. He's got to learn to fly the ship first in real life, and then he can actually like fly it in.
Yeah.
I feel like he is the leader of the lizard people anyway. Tom Cruise, like he's gotta be. He
has to be. Yeah, I like it. Good.
That was good, Jose.
Nice. Yeah, it could actually be like a series. You can see it as like a show.
Yeah, I would watch all of your movies. I would pay, and I would just do it.
Yeah, even Kevin's where they just push over and shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I do it.
It's called We're Fine.
Next Jordan Peele movie.
We're fine. It's like okay.
We're just in the theater like, tell them what's wrong.
It's called Do What You Want.
Do what you want. No, that's the tagline. Do what you want. That's on the movie poster. Who's the starring, Kevin?
You do you, boo boo.
Who's our lead human in this, Kevin?
Me. We gotta find the dumbest man on the planet because he'll figure out what's wrong with these aliens, why they're so mad at us. I don't know. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is the lead in all of our movies. I like it.
Oh my god.
All right, guys. What is on the queue?
Sputnik.
Okay.
Sputnik.
Yes. I'll do that.
Well, I don't know if it's a recommendation, but it's something I've been meaning to watch. Is because I was talking about John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah. I kind of want to watch the original because I've never seen the original. The first one, because his was a remake.
Yeah, his was a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
wasn't it?
The new one's a prequel. right?
Yes.
No,
The
John
new one was a
John Carpenter's.
Yeah, John
The
Carpenter's
Thing
was a remake.
is a
Yep.
remake
Yeah.
from like
Correct.
the 50s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think it was called The Thing from Another Planet. So he just
Mm.
made The Thing. And
Okay.
I've always wanted to watch the original, and I haven't.
Nice.
They did that with Body Snatchers too. It was Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then when they did that newest one, they just called it Body Snatchers.
Yes.
Yeah, I took out the rest of it.
And I saw that one recently too, within the last couple of years for the first time. The one from the 70s with what's his name? Donald Sutherland.
I'll go with something we haven't talked about, and I'll go Coneheads. Let's go a little lighter. Let's go
Oh yeah.
Coneheads. You're lovable aliens.
Nice.
Ooh, the
Dan Aykroyd.
how do we not talk about the 1980s Blob? That was the best
know,
Blob
man.
movie ever.
Yeah, it was it had Johnny Drama in it.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah. I like watching
We-
that movie sometimes, man.
I just watched it for the 100
movie
must
horror
watch
challenge.
horror movie challenge. That was Blob was one of the one on there, and I watched that
Yep.
one.
I love that one.
Mhm. Yeah. I had a different answer, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Mac and Me. Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Let's watch that comedy. For those people, drink, smoke some weed, and watch that movie. That movie's
Oh my God.
hilarious. Yes.
When he's dancing around in the teddy bear suit in
Oh my
McDonald's or
God.
something. Like
It's
what?
so good. It's so good. It's so bad that it's good. That's one of those ones where it's so bad that it's good.
We can think
Just-
of something. You know, how there's the ET finger. We make jokes
Mhm.
about the ET finger, and then they do this. This could definitely be something that we
Oh,
could
that
joke
could be
about.
something.
Like this could be something.
Yeah.
The tickler
Tickler.
move.
Face hugger.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like a face hugger.
It's a- it's-
Oh man. Kevin, I was gonna have, you know how I have that prosthetic face hugger thing. I was gonna have it, but I already packed it away, man. I was gonna have it here for the freaking episode.
Oh, that would have been cool.
I know. I got it at Comic-Con. That thing's so rad, man. I love it. It's like a real face hugger. where you
I
wrap
remember
around
when
your
you
whole
got that
face.
there. Yeah.
If you are going to drink, smoke, or if you are going to do shrooms before watching me, just don't think about
Shrooms.
cocoons beforehand.
Mhm.
No.
Don't watch Cocoon.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching another episode. Please watch us, like, subscribe, comment, share on our YouTube at Not a Strong Start. You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Not a Strong Start. I'm your host, Anal Probing. You can follow me at King_Sangre. That's the best part of Alien, right? The anal probing, right? Who doesn't want to sign up for an anal probing?
For free?
I
What?
know. For free? I pay you for that. No, I'm kidding.
Welcome to Earth, and you can find me at This Is Mi Nombre.
Mhm.
I'm ET Finger, and you can find me at Chillin with Cult.Class. Oh yes, I have a podcast with my best friend I never met who lives in America named Caitlin, and she's the artist behind Cult.Class, and we talk about spooky, true stories and stuff like that.
All right, I'm Kevin Lyons. You can find me at Twin Pines Video. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name, Twin Pines Video. I'm going to start making some more new content if you want to hear me rant about movies, or if you want to go on my Instagram and just see some cool movie art that I like to do. And I collect a lot of VHS tapes and do a lot of art with that too. So
Perfect.
It's,
Appreciate
it's
it, guys.
great. It's good.
thank you.
Phenomenal.
Thanks, Marie.
Really love it. And it's passive aggressive as fuck.
Thank you. Anna.
Yes. And we need help from the audience to come up with what is this going to be? What is that going to be? What should that mean? Kevin, we need an answer. No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
Place your butt right here. It said butt to.
It's the anal probing. Hey, multiple anal probings going on at
It's what the
once.
cocoon aliens do when you're on
Oh.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the way to hold them up so ET can get in there.
Oh no.
Oh my God.